I am here today giving you a look at my recent A5 that I have set up. So I am housing this planner in a marble Filofax planner for now, but I think if I'm going to keep this one in my setup, I will order a Moterm taupe to house this. So this is my professional development planner. So what is a professional development planner? So I am currently a HR manager. I have 90 staff and I'm responsible for multiple areas in a charity in Ireland. And I'm quite comfortable in my role. I'm happy in my role, but I think we always should keep an eye on our future and, you know, make sure that we're constantly learning and upskilling and all that kind of jazz. So in order to do that and help me keep me on track, I have created what I'm calling a professional development planner. So I'm going to take you through how I've set this up, and this is a different type of planner because I have included a number of Every Woman workbooks that will help me achieve my goals and future-proof my career. So I think this is going to be a nice addition to my collection, and I will walk you through it. So first up, I have this dashboard, which was actually a divider in a Happy Planner Happy Planner monthly calendar, and I just cut it down to size and I'm using it as a dashboard. So as in all of my planners, I have inbox inserts up front because this is my to-do section. So some of the to-dos I will have for this planner is to work on my sections, list out my accomplishments to date around my career. I want to keep a log of any continuous professional development courses that I do. I want to map out my education plans. So in Ireland, we have the CIPD, which is the Chartered Institute of Professional Development, and that's the professional development body that I subscribe to. So there's different statuses associated with that. I'm currently an associate, and if I want to get the chartered status, I need to study more for that. So I want to map that out. I want to have some CV and interview preparation section. I want to have some complex case examples. So when you're in HR, you often deal with employee relation cases, and one of the interview questions that always comes up is to discuss the types of complex cases you have been involved in, and that question can put me on the spot even though I have a lot of experience in that. So I thought it would be a good idea to have a section for that so that I remember them. I want to work on my strategy section, so that's just mapping out the examples of where I have acted strategically in my role, and a work-life balance section as well. So I've created these top tabs. I had these in my stash. They're just black little dividers, and I've got 3 main workbooks at the front up here. So the first workbook is from Every Woman, and these are available on, the everywoman.com, and they're just great workbooks to help you work through your goals and map out your aspirations around your career and things like that. So this is about creating influence. So this is about, in my current role, how do I create more influence? And influencing is about getting things done, moving things forward, kind of providing direction by using positive interpersonal and communication skills. So it's about using your energy to direct change. It's not about forcing people to do what you want, okay? So it's good when you move up through the ranks that you need influence in order to, get others to buy into the change you're trying to implement, for example. So this workbook helps you on with that. So it goes through things like who and what do you need to influence, your sphere of influence, and it has like various questions that you write out for yourself in order to work on that. Then this section is about your key influencing skills, what's effective, what's ineffective. It talks about emotional intelligence, assertiveness, and then it talks about your personal influencing style. So just as everybody has a different leadership style, people will have different ways they can influence other staff to get them on board. So it talks about having a push versus a pull style, for example. And then this section is about building your influence. So what do you need to do in order to increase your influencing skills? And again, you can see that it's just a nice workbook to work through. So then the next section is about, it's an introduction to building your personal brand. Now, building my brand, as you might know from the name of my channel, is something that I am interested in. So in a professional capacity, I am quite active on LinkedIn because I recognize in today's changing world, you need to network and you need to be out there creating your brand, so that if you do need to look for a new job, you're kind of known already amongst your peers, or you've started to achieve something outside of just your day-to-day role. So I have already been active at starting to create my personal brand, but this workbook hopefully will help me with that and help me expand on that a bit. So it talks about, your personal brand is an umbrella term for all of these values, drivers, reputation, behavior, skills, and your image. And it's really important, I think, especially in when you're working in corporate or working in HR, to have a positive personal brand. So this is a workbook all about helping you to identify and discover what your values are, what your drivers are, what you want your public perception to be, and your colleagues' perception of you to be. So I thought this would be a nice one to start with in my personal development planner. So you can see I printed out the workbooks on A5 pages and just put them into my planner. Okay, and these are free, by the way. They're all free to download on everywoman.com. Okay, so the next one is about future roles. So this workbook is about taking stock of where you are now and where you want to be in the future. It talks about things like careers, finances, health, relationships, happiness. So this workbook will take you through all of those, where you currently see you are, and help you build goals around where you want to be in all those areas. So it's called Taking Stock, and just having a look and listening to your body and to your mind about where you are right now in all areas of your life and where you want to be in the future. And this is a little bit about how you're going to start to move forward. So when you finish this workbook, you would start working on your goals section, for example, about how you're going to move yourself forward. And then the next one that I've printed out is about future-proofing your career. So what steps can we take to build an agile skill set and creating an action plan around that? So it talks about having an agile skill set, being able to adapt to change at a pace, what type of courses you need to do to build that capability in yourself and not become stagnant in your role. It talks about seismic shifts, going from a specialist to a generalist, or a problem solver or an agenda setter, kind of figuring out where you are and where you want to be. And then looking at outside trends and what the market is like outside, and working out a personal action plan for yourself in order to future-proof your career. So what I'm thinking is, as I move through these workbooks, I'm going to need goals and projects and note sections to help me devise some of these action plans and projects that it will take to do this. So this is how I've set it up for now. And then the last couple of sections are about that work-life balance. So this one is about resilience and agility in a changing world. What is resilience? How do you build your resilience toolkit? How can you build resilience in your team? And that is something that I'm already heavily focused on, given that I work in animal welfare, and I've recognized that resilience and well-being, it's something that we have to do for our workforce and make sure they have the coping skills necessary to do their role. But this is about personal resilience, so in your professional capacity and in a personal capacity. So again, it's just another workbook that I'll work through all around how tolerant you are, how good you are in times of uncertainty, building a resilience toolkit, strategies for dealing when your resilience is down, and so forth. And then the last workbook that I printed out is Managing the Juggle. So rethinking your work-life balance. So this is just all about steps that you can take to ensure that work doesn't get on top of you, and that we don't put ourselves last and suffer burnout. It gives you like weekly goals, monthly goals, yearly goals, asks you to work through what's holding you back, gives you strategies to help. And again, it's about building an action plan, setting clear boundaries for yourself in the workplace, and just getting you to really think about that. So those are the workbooks I have, and as I said, as I work through these, I will need some notes sections, some project sections, some goal planners. I have my CV printed out in here as well, and I wanted my job description, and I also have lots of note paper and project planners at the back, so that when I start going through all of these action plans and goals, I have plenty of inserts at the back in order for me to be able to work through some of those. So that's a quick look at my professional development planner. I will show it to you again when I start to actually use the workbooks and starting to map out some of those goals. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would really appreciate it if you could like the video and subscribe for more content like this.